Alright, so something I kind of do want to talk about is a little bit what happened on Monday Night Raw. So, the end of Monday Night Raw. And one thing I do want to talk about is the big Enzo and Cass attack investigation. And I want to compare it to with Triple H and Shawn Michaels investigation thing. So, the difference between the two is that, Enzo and Cass were kind of the tag team where it's at, and Big Cass was supposed to main event against Chris Jericho. But it turned out that Dean Ambrose interfered at the end, and that would have been a great peak for him. That would have been a great peak for Big Cass to be in the main event. But the thing is, he wasn't an established main event, and Enzo and Cass weren't established singles competitors. And why I say that is because it's a similar investigation attack to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The difference was that Big Cass staged his own attack, and the crack started showing when Corey Graves kind of got involved into the whole thing. So it was kind of like, it was basically kind of like, Corey Graves said, I got some footage of when Big Cass was attacked. They didn't show who attacked Enzo because the clues were kind of there that Big Cass faked his own attack and pretended that he got struck in the back of the head. So then Enzo confronted Cass some way, and then Big Cass came clean and said, "You know what? I attacked you, Enzo." So it was similar, except it was similar but a lot different because it was still more of Shawn Michaels saying, "I got some footage of who attacked me," and then they showed slower, and then it kind of showed that it was Triple H because Triple H investigated who attacked his friend Shawn Michaels, but then it turned out it was actually him, and they did it 1 week later. This, it kind of took a little over a month for that to happen, and it did it very quickly too. So it took a little over a month, and then it just said, "Oh, Big Cass did it." It didn't say it was the Revival or the Big Show because the Big Show took Enzo's spot. But I thought Big Show was going to confront Enzo and Cass, saying, "I'm sick of you guys running your mouth all the time, yada yada yada, and think you could steal the show and overshadow me, and think we're just jokes." Or Heath Slater and Rhino could have turned heel and said, "Yeah, it was us that did it," or the Revival, and could have started a feud with them from there. But instead it was Big Cass that said, "You know what? I'm sick of you running your mouth every single day of the week, and I'm sick of teaming with you and teaming with this annoying chatterbox that you really are." So basically that's what Big Cass said. With Triple H and Shawn Michaels, it was a bit different. It was like, "Yeah, I attacked you because I was frustrated because I was the one that wanted you to be his manager." And he said that a week ago, and then he wanted Shawn Michaels to come out and confront him, but it turned out he was attacked in the parking lot, and it revealed it was Triple H who did what he did. But the week before, it kind of like, to see the slow burn on his heel turn after he pedigreed Shawn Michaels 2 weeks before DX. So it's kind of like you had a feeling that Triple H was going to attack Shawn Michaels and cement his heel turn, and then he, Un-Americans were suspects and somebody else was a suspect, but it turned out it was Triple H himself. Same thing with Big Cass, because then Big Cass said, "Oh, I'm going to watch Enzo's back," and that's where I had a feeling it was Big Cass who did it. But it did it in a different fashion, because Big Cass was the one who was attacked, but I thought, oh, who's attacking those guys? They weren't attacked together. Both of them weren't knocked out. It turned out it was individual. I thought Enzo and Cass were attacking each other, but it turned out Big Cass staged his own attack, and then the Big Show took his spot and teamed with Enzo. So the difference is kind of like Enzo and Cass weren't established main eventers and weren't established singles competitors. Triple H and Shawn Michaels were, and they were part of alliances themselves with DX, and then DX, and I forgot another alliance they were a part of, but they eventually established themselves as main event single competitors. So it was a bit different to see like how that feud developed. So it's a little bit too soon to talk about because I got to see how Enzo and Cass's feud is going to develop, because they're probably going to face each other at Great Balls of Fire. Triple H and Shawn Michaels had some great storytelling, because Triple H said, "Oh, you're weak, you're past your prime, and what are you going to do when if somebody killed you and beat you up behind you," stuff like that. And Big Cass did to Enzo, "All I did was beat you up, I spared you, and I'll see how smart you are." And he said, "I have you like, hey, you won't believe how many times slaps out of all the stupid
top. So, and then Triple H kind of said, you know, Shawn Michaels, you could have stayed by my side, be your manager, and I could have protected you. I could have had you by my side, but you decided to turn that down just because you have a big ego and a big pride that you have, and you didn't want that to happen. So basically, it was a bit different because Big Cass was basically just tired of Enzo running his mouth and basically not backing it up and bringing it to action, basically. And he got tired of teaming with him, basically. Just that's how it was. So the real story is that between the two and comparing those two situations is that, yeah, basically it's kind of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels did earn that spot at the main event because they were the headliners of Raw and they were already established main eventers. Enzo and Cass weren't established main eventers, so kind of like it threw some people off. And people bought into that hype that Big Cass will be a big main eventer just because Vince McMahon loves big guys. And Big Cass is a big guy, so it's like, let's establish him into the main event scene by main eventing this investigation segment. So, I don't know. I was hoping it wasn't Enzo and Cass. I was hoping they didn't do it so soon. They could have waited a little bit, or instead it could have been the revival, and then during the feud, Big Cass attacks Enzo out of nowhere and turns his back on him. But with this, I'm intrigued with how the story's going to go with Big Cass and Enzo, because he called him dead weight, and Cass called Enzo dead weight, and said, oh, you're wasting my time and stuff like that. So he says, oh, it's okay to run your mouth long as I'm behind you, but I'm done teaming with you. I'm done being by your side and stuff like that. So he said, oh, we're done. We're through. So Big Cass broke up with Enzo. And then Triple H and Shawn Michaels said, oh, I could recover by SummerSlam, and I'll be ready by then. And then he challenged him to a match. I wish Enzo could have challenged him to a match at Great Balls of Fire, but I'm going to see what happens on Raw Monday night because this is just, the storyline is just beginning. So I'm intrigued where they're going to go, but hopefully they have a feud somewhere. So I'll be excited about that. So that's what I got to say to that. I know it's a lot. I rambled a little bit, but hopefully it's not word of mouth, but hopefully it's a little bit clear. But that's what I got to say to that. So I'm intrigued with how it's going to go. I'm probably going to continue comparing the Triple H and Shawn Michaels story to the Enzo Cass story, and I'll see where it goes. So